Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Pillai Center's Powertime practice here on the 9th of June, 2018. My name is Sucharita, for those of you who don't know me. Welcome to everyone who's joining, and those of you who have been joining from week to week, month to month, and year to year. So what we do here in Powertime practice is we discover something about ourselves, the way we think, the way we act, the way we feel, the way we do things. And how do we determine how that all is going to roll out? Is by looking at or observing or diving into the energy behind time. So we know that the planets play a part in time, in constructing time. And last week we were introduced to Kalabhairava, the god of time, who is also closely associated with Kronos in Greek mythology. So Kalabhairava is in Vedic mythology. He represents the archetypal being who constructs time. He makes us to think in different ways. So last week we were able to tap into the energy and get into that spirit of time, or that power of time that will help us to jump out of slow time and get into miracle consciousness. So we watch the sun as it transits in the sky. We can see it, and every month it transits, every 30 days or so approximately. And from mid-month to mid-month, according to Vedic astrology, that goes by the way we feel, the way we desire things. So it is going to transit mid-month to mid-month. So it's coming up. There's a transit coming up on the 15th, I believe it is. Yes, the sun is going to be transiting into the sign of Gemini. And what that means is that as the sun has been getting a kickstart as it was entering into Aries a couple of months ago, we hit the ground running. It was springtime. We wanted to get going, get outdoors, have all this energy and will to do our spiritual practices, and also go after our material goals. And we felt good about that. And then our focus in this past 30 days has been on second house matters, which are things to do with how we spend our money. Because if we are spending our money wisely, then we will be most likely in doing savings. We will be investing. So it's all about money, how we are spending our time thinking about money, putting into action that which we want to manifest as it relates to money, and then also as it relates to what we take in. So maybe we hit the ground running a couple months ago, and then we started on a fitness regime, and then we're still going at it because we feel like that's part of our health and well-being. And when we have a healthy mind and a healthy body, chances are our finances are good, our relationships are good, and so on. So this month, as it's going to be transiting in this house, or the sign of Gemini, the natural third house of the zodiac, we're going to be putting our attention to matters of courage, risk. So if you felt like, okay, I hit the ground running, I'm doing my thing, but I really want to go to the next level. I really want to take risks in my life, but I don't want to make mistakes, because those are can be long lasting, and you have to undo them and then do something else. So with the support of the sun, which represents our soul, we will get that soul's consciousness that says, hey, you learn from your past mistakes. These are the kinds of risks that you can take. Not to say that you shouldn't do things, but you can call on the divine, and then the divine will wake up our soul. So matters is also associated when sun transits into the natural third house is siblings or younger people in your life. So if you don't have younger siblings, or you don't have siblings that you are in touch with, it can be siblings in the sense of those people who you work with, or perhaps your kids are at that age where they are looking up to you to be that kind of mentor, as opposed to a parent telling them what to do. You're going to be helping them along, encouraging them along, and giving them the insights and the wisdom, sharing the wisdom with them that you have learned over the years. Not to say they're going to listen to you, but definitely you can be sharing about how to use their time wisely. And if they get into too much going here and going there and then get distracted, then just like us, we're not going to accomplish too much, or it will take a longer time for us to accomplish things. So when the sun's transiting this sign of Gemini, also it's a natural business house. So our mind is on money in the past month. We've hit the ground running. We have all this energy to go after it. And so now we might be thinking, oh, I want to do a business, or I want to do a side business. I'll keep my day job because I need to have money coming in. But I might be thinking of something that I could do online part-time, or I could do something in my life that won't take up too much time, but I will make a little bit of extra money. So those kinds of thoughts might come up. So there's a great course at Pillai Center Academy, and it is called Risk Taking, and it's Personal Transformation Program, another PTP. And you can imagine it's all about the power behind your personal transformation. So when we start doing things, we really need to be energized. So there's a great mantra that Dr. Pillai has given out, so you can get initiated into a risk-taking, courage-building, bravery building mantra. And mantra, again, is something that will protect our mind from negative thinking that says, no, you can't do that, or it's too great a risk. You'll start to feel this energy inside of you. And then with the mantra and the meditation practice in that program, you can easily do it. It's like about 15 minutes a day, and you will start to feel inside of you this intelligence, and these thoughts will come to you. Hey, you could go do this. Or someone will approach you and say, hey, could you come in and work part-time in my business, help me out? And all of a sudden you're partners and you have shares in the business. So that's how the divine works. It works in very mysterious ways and very miraculous ways, as we all know. That would not have happened. It's a miracle, you know. So we always say it's a miracle when something out of the ordinary happens. So that personal transformation program is a great month-long program that follows the sun as it transits into the next sign of the zodiac each month. And why does that matter to us? It matters to us because the sun represents our soul. I mentioned that earlier, and we will say it again. In all these years that we have been working with this weekly program together, we watch or we observe how we feel, what are we thinking every month, so that we can put our attention on that area of life, and it will be natural for us to just go into that and take a look. And it doesn't mean that you have to start up your business right away. Just start to write down those ideas, journal. It's the sign of communication. So you will be looking at many different directions to seek out what it is that you want to do. And sometimes we don't even know until we get into a stream of consciousness that has a higher vibration, has more intelligence. That's what meditation does. So we're going to do a meditation today, and it's going to be tapping into the energy of time behind karma. So everybody always says to me, hey, Sujita, what is karma? Karma is your thinking. So if your thinking is slow and it's delayed, and it's not that you are slow or delayed in your brain power, it means that you're hesitating. You think that you must wait for things to happen. Excuse me, that's karma in the throat. So you think that because of what someone else had gone through, that you can't do whatever it is that they do, or they have more money than you, or they have more education than you, or they have a better upbringing than you, or they're more faithful or more religious or more spiritual, so God's on their side more. You know, that is just thinking that is not going to support you. So the karma, as you just heard, maybe if you were on the phone or you saw here, me struggling with the throat. when you look at the throat, or you just pay attention to the throat. So right now, pay attention to what is going on in your throat, and just naturally, what is your inclination as you're thinking? So think a thought. Think of something that is really disturbing you. Maybe you are having challenges with your siblings, and that's going to come up. So maybe you're having challenges with your coworkers. That's going to come up. It's going to be illuminated. The sun is going to shine on that area. So what do? You want to take some risks, reach out and see how you can communicate with them in a whole different way. And it will be lighter communication, because Gemini is a sign that's light. It's an air sign. It wants to talk about lots of different things. So be careful what you talk about. And as we all know, religion and politics, right? Taxes is another thing that always sort of sparks everyone up. So avoid those. Not that you can avoid it altogether, because what if the person wants to talk about it? You just put it on them. Let them talk their head off about it. Let them get it out. And you can say, wow, that's interesting, even if you're not in agreement with them. So it's going to just be light energy, and you're going to feel that lightness of being. So when we are focusing on our throat, we will experience some sort of thought that comes up. And it's usually one that is we obsess about. We need this, we need more money, we need more time, we need more energy, we need a relationship, we need good health, we need. It's a needy thing, and it just bothers us. Absolutely, we need everything that we need, but it's like a Toys R Us kid. It just won't calm down. You're going to get the toy. You're going to get the thing. If you go to the divine, as you would to your mother or father or whoever is going to buy you that toy, and they will eventually give it to you. But what has to happen? You've got to show that you are interested in it for some time. So you're not going to just get the thing and then throw it away. That's what happens in life. We want everything that we want, and then we get it. We don't pay attention to it. We throw it away. We don't care about it. So, and that goes with, same with people. You know, we get that great guy in our life, or the great girl in our life, or your family members come back into your life, or you heal your relationships, and then you just go back to when you were 5 years old, or go back to when you first met that person and you had your first fight. You just go and you base how you feel and how you think about that particular moment, and that becomes your mindset. So meditation is a stream of consciousness, will get you out of your karmic thinking. So it will take you out of your throat, and then it will push you up into your third eye. You want to go into this part and crack it open and let the divine energy come in. So how to control how we're feeling about time and how we're feeling about our karma is that we can do a mantra that Dr. Pillai has shared over the years, and it is Tiru Nila Kantam. Tiru is like a sacred word. It's an honorary word for the divine. Hey, come in. I am open to receive the blessings. And then Nila means blue. And then Kantam means throat. So we'll spell all that out and in the email that goes out to everyone, and you can see it on the video once it's posted to the YouTube or the blog. And then you can do the practice. So Tiru Nilakantam, I think there's a track, an audio download that's available on Pillai Center, and maybe someone who is here, they can post it if you find it. And if you'd like to do that, that would be helpful. Thank you so much. So everyone should have this audio, or you can go on to Pillai Center YouTube, and Dr. Pillai has given so many teachings out on Tiru Nilakantam, so you can listen to his voice on YouTube for free. So thank you so much. Someone has posted Tiru Nilakantam there. And so what that is it Lord Shiva, who was the greatest being, he just wanted to help people to get out of slow time. He wanted to help people to come out of their karmas that were holding them back due to the planets, due to the ancestors, due to previous lifetimes, or even this lifetime where you know, you don't feel so good about something you did so long ago and you can't shake it. It won't go. And I've heard people say this, it doesn't matter what age they are, they feel guilty, they feel upset or angry, or they feel depressed, or they just want to get away from that charge, that emotion, that it keeps taking them down memory lane. And then as if it is their reality now. I can't do that because I did this to so-and-so, or I messed up in my life when I was 6 years old, and now I always think of myself as that. And they're 50 or 60 years old or 70, or they've broke up with someone when they were 14, and they feel so bad about that, such that they never wanted to have another relationship, or if they did have a relationship, they could never forgive themselves. So all these things, these deep-seated patterns of thinking are karmic in that they just hold us back from experiencing a more fabulous, outrageous, wonderful, joyous reality. And you may think, if you're new to Dr. Pillai's teachings, oh, that's not possible. Well, just wait. You will experience it. You'll be happy for no reason. And that's what we want to do, is we want to get into meditation and ritual practices where we will take away that charge, that energetic charge, that emotional charge, that confused charge and doubtful skepticism, all that stuff that holds us back. And it doesn't have to do with belief in anything. Belief comes later on. You want to do the thing, you want to experience the shift, and then you believe, oh, I am a true believer. You know, and then after that, you don't care because you just keep doing the thing. And hey, if it works, keep doing it. It has nothing to do about you getting on a soapbox or a bandwagon and say, you must do this. Everybody's got their own path in life. And so if you're on this path with Dr. Pillai, or you've come across and this is your first time, and you feel so excited about whatever you're going to learn here and whatever you're going to experience here, that you want to just go out and share it with others, you want to tell everybody, you should do this, you should do that. Yes, you can. But do it in a way that is going to be inviting them to go and explore it themselves. Trust me, you won't get kickback from them. And as we heard last night and in the weeks previously when we were in Wealth Rising and now Shrimbrzi Immersion, that course is, unfortunately, it's closed right now, although the members are enjoying it, and then it will be posted to Pillai Center Academy at some point down the road. So don't be discouraged. It might be available for those of you who are new. So when they were, the members were sharing about the miracles that they were having just by them doing their spiritual practice, their Shrimbrzi practice, and observing how their behavior is, observing how their thinking is. If it's negative, they just keep doing more mantra. It protects the mind from being bombarded by negativity. So what some people were sharing last night or in the wee early hours of this morning is that their family members were shifting. All these wonderful things were happening. Their husband, their kids, their wives, their parents, you know, people in their lives who have been, you know, in their eyes causing the problems in the life, they are now turning around. Wonderful things are happening because they are committed to their practice. So if you're committed to your practice, eventually, by and by, you will see the shift around you, the shift in the consciousness, because you will be in a stream of consciousness where you're grabbing more intelligence. You're not thinking anymore. You're actually out of your mind. The mantra comes in, and the mantra is the divine being. So an archetype or a divine being, a deva, as they share in Vedic times, is this shiny being. It's a shiny being, so it's a light. It's an intelligence. And it can, if your third eye is open, you can see the shape of it or the form of it. So that's why we have pictures or we have statues of these shiny beings. And then archetype. Archetype is a word that describes idea. So you kind of have an idea or a feeling or a sense, or there's a thought that something is there, some presence is there, some form of communication, some energy, some feeling, something is there. You may not see it with your eyes or even in your mind's eye, but that you feel, you sense that there is a presence here, and there is going to be a gift with that presence, because otherwise you wouldn't have tuned into it. So we become aware of this archetypal energy, of these beings behind time. So we are a human being, and there are beings that are in the form of these archetypes. So they have shapes, and then they have certain qualities or characteristics. And then we tap in, or we dance with that energy. We dance with that quality of being. And then all of a sudden we're lighter in our thinking. We have a lighter outlook or a lighter approach. We're not so heavy-handed. You must do this, or why can't you be this way? You know, oh my God. And we think we're spiritually evolved. Yeah, okay. Maybe I should get back to the drawing board. So, and the drawing board is that you're drawing on the attentional energy of a higher source, a higher being, an infinite intelligence, a power behind what is actually that which you are seeing or experiencing in your life, or whatever you're saying to yourself, your self-talk, the thoughts you have that are just possessing your mind and making you to obsess over and over and over. And point the finger. It's that guy's fault. If only they would be a certain way. Well, as we know, when we point the finger, it's like you're shooting your own self, because whatever you put out, if it's not positive, well, if it is positive, it's going to come back. It's going to bounce back to you. So you can shoot out positive thoughts and say positive things, and you will get positive response. Not always, because some people don't like to hear that, but you will learn how to navigate with that as we go along. Because the mantra, so again, man means mind, and tra comes from the word that means to protect. So you're protecting your mind from your old ways of thinking, and then you're bringing in the energy of that being. So the being is a part of us already, but we need to activate it. So it's out there in the space. So when we go into meditation, we go out there in the space, or we go deep inside of us in deep space. And then we access some sort of energy, some quality, something is there. And we may not be able to see it, but definitely we feel it, or we know it's there. We get goosebumps, or just this knowingness. It's without knowing. We just have tapped in to our intuition. So intuition is we go into it, we go inside, and then that is the highest intelligence. How can that be the highest intelligence? We'll find out. As we go along here in Powertime practice, week to week, we find out who's going to be bringing in that highest intelligence. So they're kind of like, hey, here I am. It's my party. I am here this week. So today we are going to be able to get blessings for money miracles, perhaps, or we're just going to feel lighter. Why is that? Because this is the God of time, the God of money. And also he gives money miracles because he knows it takes way too long for us to save and to have that big bank account. So his name is Lord Vishnu, and Vishnu is the consort of the goddess of wealth. So he is a god of wealth, or an archetype of wealth, or he will pump in to you thoughts about how you can manage your money wisely and maybe perhaps get a money miracle. Now, a money miracle can come in the form of a lotto. It can come in the form of an inheritance that comes out of nowhere. Many of us have had that in our lives, like out of nowhere, just in time when we needed it the most, or we really had something that we wanted to do. So this God of money will pump into our brains and into our being this idea, or to give us a heads up about, hey, if you say my name this week, or today especially because it's 11th moon, it's Igarashi, And also to the next day, tomorrow, Sunday, depending on where you are in the world, it's the 11th moon. Sorry, the 12th moon, and that also represents his energy as well. So it's going to spill over. So for these 2 days, if you just say his name or listen to this mantra practice or this meditation that we're going to go into, Om Namo Narayanaya is the mantra. And that is the mantra for Vishnu, and he fulfills your wishes. So Vishnu wishes that you could have a money miracle. So tap into that energy and you'll start to pump those ideas into you, and you'll feel more optimistic, and you'll look out. Where can I get? You know, oh my goodness, that's when it came, when I paid attention. So today is all about Lord Vishnu. Traditionally, people fast, meaning that they just take some juice or fruits, and they just eat lightly and avoid meats or heavier foods like oils and things like that will make you to feel lethargic. You want to feel lightheaded so that you can get into that headspace to commune with this God of time, to fulfill your wishes. So why wouldn't we want to do something so that we align ourselves with wish fulfillment? If we don't know what our wish is, who will pump those thoughts into you? So you can wish for a money miracle. You can wish for your project or your business, or you can wish for more clients or more customers to come. You can wish for harmony at the workplace, because if there's harmony at the workplace and it's not a dog-eat-dog situation, then, or getting stabbed in the back. Oh my God, how many times does that happen? How many times have we done that? Oops, yes, we have. Welcome to the karma. So you don't want to think, oh my goodness, I got to just, avoid that or worry about it. You just call on this archetype and he will make everything to be a party. Even if it is work and even if it's intense, he'll make it to go light and fast and have fun. So if you haven't experienced that at work, if you just practice this tapping into the energy of Lord Vishnu from this point onwards, you will definitely experience some more joy in your life and your communication with others and your projects and your business. You'll come up with ideas that will make more money. You'll get paid. Promotion could come. Somebody could just lend you money and you've been trying to get money get a loan, and all of a sudden the bank clears the loan, or clears you so that you can get the loan or the mortgage. So that's how money can come too. It can appear out of nowhere. You can get it in the form of gifts. So gifts or a trip. Many people get trips paid for them, and they've always wanted to go somewhere, or they want to go to Guru Purnima. It's in San Diego. Guru Purnima is the time where you can get a lot of blessings from your spiritual master, Dr. Pillai, and he's going to be having a 3-day retreat. He's brought it down to 3 days because he's so compassionate about how people can spend their time and money and energy. So he's compressed the teachings so that it will be available for everyone who goes there, will be available in 3 days versus 7 days. So there you go. You get the divine blessings to get the teachings in a shorter period of time, and then you don't have to spend as much energy or take time off work, or maybe it's vacation time with your family that you would miss out, or the extra money that it would cost. So Dr. Pillai is always compassionate about this conversation that we're having now. And he's very passionate. He's compassionate about it. And he's also very passionate about us understanding this concept of time that is not just the ticking of the hands on the clock. It's the days that go by. And what do we do when we look at our day? We just think, oh, how am I going to get rid? If we're not in a good mood, we'll just like, oh my God, I wish this day was over. I wish this job was my work day was over. I wish this event was over. Maybe it's a family event and you don't get along with your family, or it's something, or shopping, or you got to do your work, housework or gardening, and you don't like it. It's such a, you think it's such a waste of time for you. But if you get into the concept or the energy of the divine beings, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You will enjoy it. You will do it faster. and then you will get more accomplished. So your whole attitude will shift because you're calling on this higher intelligence without having to go to school. You just call on the name, just like you would if you were in a situation where you needed a lawyer, you needed a doctor, or you needed, someone who has a specialty in their life, and you need their guidance, you need their mentoring, you need their advice. You call on them, you tell them up, and you meet with them, and you talk to them, and then they can give you information. And then with that information, you go and do the things that you need to do with much more intelligent steps that you're taking. And then also you have hope that you're going to get through this, or you're enlightened, you're so happy. Yes, this is going to be great. So you get that support for that from that person who has a higher intelligence, and they know how to do things fast. So the divine is saying, I will show you how to do it, and then you can merge with that energy and that intelligence, and then you will be in the right place at the right time, thinking, saying, and doing the right thing, and you'll just like, pinch me. Is this really happening? Just because I tapped into these divine archetypes. Try it out. Many of us have experienced it and continue to experience a deepening in our relationship with these divine beings. They will show up in everyday life, such as you'll see a sign, or you might start to be attracted to a certain color. So these divine beings all have different colors, color spectrum that they can that they resonate on, and then you can see them, or those colors might show up, or you might be attracted to those colors. So Vishnu's colors are blue and gold. So yellows and greens even. So you might be attracted to kind of like the colors of the sea, and you will want to try them out, or you'll feel good with those colors. So you might even do some redecorating in your house, or, buy a top you're attracted to and you're going, wow, I would never buy this. But that is just a sign that you're getting in alignment with this intelligence that is coming in, and it's pumping thoughts into you that is saying, hey, if you want to get in alignment with me, you're going to be thinking about me all the time. I'll remind you. So you just think of the word remind. Your mind is just all over the map, and you have to reorganize it. You have to restructure it. And these archetypes are the means to building that consciousness in our minds that says we need wealth, we need health, we need happiness, joy right now, because I can't wait anymore. So today is a great day, and tomorrow as well. The 13th moon comes after the 12th moon, obviously, and that's going to be happening on Monday according to Eastern Daylight Time. And that is a window of opportunity to around sunset time. And let me just double check. I'm looking at my AstroVed calendar here, and it says that Pradosham is starting, yes, on Monday. Wow. So when it happens on a Monday, that's called Soma. Soma means moon and body also. And also our desires. The elixir of life is related to the word Soma. And that means it happens, if it's Soma Pradosham, so Pradosham is the 13th moon, either waning or waxing. We're in a waning cycle now. So we can really go deep, dig inside and dig up what is in our baby toe, or behind our heart, or behind, where it's hidden somewhere. When we propitiate this divine being with Tirunelakantam, Lord Shiva, and we imagine a light going into our throat, it's a blue light, and then we also can do a ritual where we'll pour some water, milk, or juice on Shiva Lingam. I think we did that last week or the week before, so you can check that out. Maybe we might even do it here as we open up the discussion after our meditation. So when we tap into Pradosham, then whatever we've been thinking about, since I tweaked you a little bit and said, hey, focus your attention on your throat. What is coming up? What are your thoughts coming up as you pay attention to the throat? And especially pay attention, and then keep going deeper, because we're like, I'm good, that's not so bad. And then you go, yeah, I think it is. I didn't think it was so bad, because thinking is very light. It's just, it can ping you. But when you feel the emotion behind that thinking, when you're saying it's not so bad, really? Because wouldn't you want to be saying, this is awesome. Oh my God, I'm so relieved that this is finally, I've had a breakthrough. So when we are, as Dr. Pillai shares, when we use this mantra, Tirunelakantam, it will make us to really look at our own truth. And the truth, as we know, will set us free, but it will also can be a little bit challenging. So meditation is something that people have misconception about a little bit, where they say, I am doing all these mantra practices, I am doing meditations, I'm in this course, I'm in that course, and I'm still mad and I'm still upset, and why isn't this working? And they just get so emotionally charged. We all do it. And I've been doing this month after month, year after year, decade after decade. I'm just not, it's like, if you've been doing it all that time, maybe, maybe you do believe in it, but you just got to keep doing until you have that breakthrough. So meditation will help you to seek out that which is blocking your progress. No one is going to be able to do that. So no therapy. It's going to help you a little bit. It'll support you, counseling, therapy, looking into, inquiring. But then after a while, you're just going to be like, I don't want to just be saying stuff. And then someone say something back to me. I want this gone. I can't tell you how many people have said this week, I want this gone out of my life. And I go, keep doing your practice, because your practice is you put into your practical life, your everyday life, something else, someone else, some higher state of being, some clarity, some more intelligence is coming in. And then that is the stream of thinking that you want to be in, because out of nowhere can be the resolution to your situation. So as you come out of your meditation practice or your mantra practice, you will be in a more relaxed state. You will be able to see clearly. Your energy won't be all over the place. And then you will focus at the task at hand. No one is going to do your karma. Sorry. But Dr. Pillai shares what it will happen if you follow these practices and these rituals and these remedies and mantras, is that instead of losing your head gets cut off, your hat just falls off. No big deal. Your hair gets a little bit messy, and you just pick up your hat and put it back on. But you can't do that with your head if it's cut off. So that's what happens with karma, is that we just like lose our minds. We lose our heads. We just go, crazy. I was going to hold back, and I went, no, that's exactly what we do in our behaviors, in the way we think. When we look back and we go, that was so crazy of me. Why was I thinking that way? That wasn't me. So who was it? Who was that then? You weren't talking to anyone else, but something was getting pumped into your brain. That's where the planets come in. That's where your ancestors come in. So as we're getting closer to the new moon, which is a planet, and when we tap into the energy of the moon, it's all about our desires. It's all about how we're thinking. On a waning cycle, as we go into a new moon, it's pretty dark. And so what's behind the darkness are beings. They're spirits, restless ghosts maybe, or just there's some energy is there, some force field is there. Maybe it's a dark force. Maybe it's, some negative thinking or thought pattern that we cannot shake, or we're so lethargic or irritable. And then we go and do something. First thing we usually do, most people, is they go try to find some comfort. So they go and eat, or they go and gossip. They talk, blah, 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 blah. So they do something that is related to eating, talking, that is going to keep that going. Because if you eat comfort food like ice cream or sugar, what do you feel like afterwards? What happens to your body? We all know. So, and then we feel bad about it. Why do we do that? Why do we poison ourselves, you know? And then it is ongoing, and how to get out of that cycle. So if we're, you know, speaking, maybe we're gossiping, I feel so bad, and it's because of this and that and the other thing. And then all of a sudden, it's, boom, that's coming back to you. And it's just like you're in a pile of stuff, you know, that you just don't need to have. So the new moon can bring up this, these energies, this intelligence that is lower vibrating intelligence. It's dark. You can't see the new moon in the sky. So that it means that we're being exposed to, or we're exploring that which is hidden from us, but we can sense and feel it, and it doesn't feel good. So usually that is relating to ancestors who are suffering, struggling. They although they have passed, they're stuck. They're not in heaven. If they were in heaven, they'd be blessing you. You'd be experiencing all kinds of blessings. That's why Dr. Pillai shares that we think that our brain is the only thing that thinks. Our genes think, and our genes are associated with our ancestors. We have 50% of our parents, our mother's side and our father's side, and then 25% of our siblings, and then they share 25% or 50% of their fathers and mothers. So they're our grandparents. So the genes, even if our grandparents have gone or our parents have gone, in this lifetime, they're no more, they've passed on, they are still pumping into us through our genes, sharing our gene pool. So that's why Dr. Pillai calls it soul genetics. It's the genes of the soul. So we are tapping into the energy of the soul, and then we're seeking out those spirits who are restless, and they're causing angst to our soul, our dark nights of the soul that seem to go on and on and on. And then they disturb our soul. We don't have peace of mind, and we are struggling with finances, problems in relationship, bickering. Maybe it starts out good, but then it always ends up in a fight, or, you know, and then that prolongs it, and it just goes on and on. So we all know that vicious cycle. So it can be ancestors who are restless, and what do we do with that is we offer them some tarpanum. And so I have a little demo here today where you can see what tarpanum is. So tarpanum is this, it's a white powder, and it's got some black specks. So this is, the white powder is rice powder. And then the black specks are black sesame seeds. So this is just a very small dish. It fits at the tip of my fingers for giving you purpose, size purpose. So, and then we have some darba grass. It's that you don't need it, but I just had some in the cupboard. So it looks like this when it's dried out. I cut it, and it's usually very long. So if you piece these pieces together, it would be very long, you know, maybe like a foot long or a couple feet long. So what I do is I dry it out, and I cut it into pieces, and then I cut these pieces into this size. So you can see they're just little pieces. So what I'll do now is I'll just do a little demo where you can experience what it is to do a tarpanum offering. So here is the bowl that I'm going to use, and you can do this after you take a shower. So you can have this mixture in your, like in a Tupperware in your shower or next to your shower, or if you want to wait till your shower is over, and then it can be in your kitchen if your kitchen is very clean. So, and your bathroom should be very clean as well. So what you do is you just, I'm gonna do it this way. Okay, so here's the bowl. And so what you do is you take your right hand, or take this tarpanum, this mixture, and then you just take a little bit. You just put a little bit, like about this much. I just pinched my fingers together. So that I just pinched. So it's just like a pinch, and maybe a coin size, and you can put it in your hand. And for me, because I'm going to pour water, I'm going to use my right hand to pour it. So it is in your hand, and you're going to have it over the bowl. You're going to take a coin size. See, this is a nickel, 5 cents. And it's just that amount, just like that. And then because I have some of this darb, I'll take a little couple pieces and just put it there, just like that. So what you're doing is you're just making a prayer first where you're asking the divine, you know, come and bless this ritual. I'm going to offer it to 6 generations on my mother's side, 6 generations on my father's side of those ancestors who have passed away. And let them be at peace. Let them be evolving to great heights. And let them be free to be able to bless me and my family, all the descendants here on the earth plane with peace, prosperity, enlightenment, whatever it is. So right now I'm working on opening up a bottle of water, fresh bottle of water, because I don't have the tap. So you can just, as you're saying that prayer, you just imagine the ancestors coming and taking this mixture. And then you just pour a little bit of water like that. And then you can just continue on. May they be blessed. May they be at peace. Please come and take this offering. I want to feel your presence here coming to take it. Please enjoy it. And then bless me and my family members. So that is what you want to do, and then you can just take the coin and put it on the side. So if you have a sink, you can put the offering in your right hand, and then you just turn the tap on, and then you can put your hand under the sink tap. And then you just take the water, if it's in something like this, you just pour it outside. Or you can put it down the drain, that's fine too. So it's very simple practice to do and to implement. And that will be really helpful on the new moon so that you can clear some karma. You can clear some thinking that's getting pumped in from your genes into your brain. And, you know, when you have disturbance of the peace of mind, it means that somewhere along the line, and you can even say, you'll hear yourself saying, I'm just like how it was for my mother, my father, my grandparents. How do I come out of this consciousness, you know, poverty consciousness, where we don't have enough money, or money is evil, or you're never gonna succeed, you know, or if you do succeed, you're gonna fail. It's because some ancestors succeeded and failed. That's why you had those thoughts, and that's why you had that experience. So we really have to, as Dr. Pillai shares, it's a battle in life, but these tools, if you use them on a daily basis hereafter, from 6 a.m., I say 6 a.m. because that's usually what it is on sunrise. So around sunrise, just after sunrise, you can start the Tarpanam, and then up until sunset. So sunrise to sunset is the best time every day to do Tarpanam, and do it hereafter. Do it like you have to brush your teeth to keep your teeth healthy. And you're also, if you don't have good teeth, you can get sick as well. So you can do the Tarpanam every day and watch your life and your family's lives unfold in a whole new way, because the ancestors are coming and blessing you. So that is going to be the new moon, or the 15th waning moon. And then next Saturday will be a 4th moon for busting obstacles. So those are a couple of things, or a couple of power times that you can tune into, and things you can do, pay attention to. We'll open it up once we have our discussion. We'll share more about it depending on what the questions are. So remember, we're all in divine time. And that's what I love about this program is whatever is going to unfold is exactly what it is for everyone to understand, learn about, experience at this particular time. So we don't have to control it. We don't have to, okay, I'm going to talk about this now and you're going to do this. And Yeah, you can if you want, but be free to do what it is and to pay attention to these few archetypes who are going to pump into our brains and into our intuition. So we might just, all of a sudden we look some way and we go, oh yeah, I've got to do my tarpanam, or oh yeah, I've got to, propitiate Lord Shiva and visualize that blue light entering the throat, or take a Shiva lingam and pour some water on it. In fact, that's what we'll do too. We'll do that as well. So I've got a Shiva lingam. It looks like this. This is a Mercury one. Can look like this. It's a jade one. I'm not sure if I have a crystal one nearby. Don't have a crystal one nearby. So what you can do is you can just take a little bit of water and then you can just pour it on the Shiva lingam. So again, for purposes of just viewing here, it's in my left hand. And then you just take your right hand and pour the water. Tirunilakantam, Tirunilakantam, Tirunilakantam. And then you will get some blessing from doing that. So, and that will wash away, whenever we pour water, just like when we have a shower, we wash away the negativity. We wash away the dirt. We wash away, we feel energized after that. We feel clean. So, and water is very hydrating. It helps us to feel more energized when we take more water in to our body, right? So let's get into a state of receptivity where we're going to experience these archetypes, these beings, this intelligence that we are going to be looking out for, or perhaps they'll be pinging us throughout the week ahead. And this weekend is going to be all about Lord Vishnu. So you might feel some issues of the heart coming up. You might feel like some sadness, or you just feel heart pain. So don't feel like you're going to have a heart attack. Although if you're not healthy and you're prone to heart issues, then, you might want to get checked out after that. So you can be lying down. You can be sitting up. You can have your eyes open, closed. If you have your eyes closed, what happens? You tune the world out and you go inside and start to look inside. Regardless if it's all black in there or if it's different colors, or you might see things, or some thought might come up and, cause you to be irritated. Someone was saying, I'm so angry after this meditation. Fabulous. You're getting it out because it's hidden there. It was locked away. So allow it to be released. It's not going to be pretty, but then once you see and you release it, then you feel, oh my God, that was so weighing me down. I didn't even know. So you can thank the divine for getting that out, bringing it to your attention so you can release it. So just allow whatever is going to come. When you hear the mantra, or you can say the mantra as we go along, if it's okay for you to do that, if you're in a place to do that. Someone last night was sharing, I was by myself, it was great. I could just, yell the mantra out. I could really get into it because they had an empty house. But that's not always the case. So you can just speak it lightly, low volume, or you can just internally, you can be screaming internally. If there's something scary or makes you frustrated, you can be, Tirunilakantam inside, and then just focusing that attention on that thought that comes up, or that memory, or that feeling that you have. You just attack it with that Tirunilakantam, because it is the divine blessings that Lord Shiva, who will remove the poison. It's not like you take poison. You're exposed to it all the time, and you don't even know. And it might not even be your poison or your stuff that's coming up. It could be that you were, there's a lot of energy at work that was negative, or in your house lately, or even in your own thinking, it's coming up and you're going, I don't want to meditate anymore. This is way too scary. If it feels like it's way too scary, keep meditating more so it burst through it. You get rid of it once and for all. Keep going. So let's get into a state now where we're experiencing these archetypes, and then we'll come back after a little bit, depending on how long they want to stay within you and within this whole group of people here are the people who are going to listen to this later on. You'll feel, oh my God, I felt that day, and I wasn't even there. I listened to it afterwards. Many people do share that. I was at work, I couldn't tune in live, but then I felt the energy coming, because they're always coming to this practice or doing some meditation practice. So for those of you who need to go, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time. The rest of this recording will be posted to the blog and to YouTube. So have a great week ahead, and we'll see you next time. So those of you who are going to stay, this is part of the call where if we can compose words or post something on the chat, we can share our experience. So if you're on the phone, press *6 if you want to unmute yourself. And then if you are on Zoom, you can unmute your mic. Usually it's in a little toolbar on the lower left-hand corner of the screen. I'm going to unmute everybody. So you're welcome to unmute your mic if you'd like to share an experience.
Morning, Sucharita.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
Very good. I had a couple questions.
Sure.
I do the Tarpanin. I put everything in my palm. First, I pray to Ganesha to move the obstacles. Then I put the stuff in my palm and sprinkle some water on it. And then I do my prayer 3 times while the stuff is in my palm. And then when I'm done, then I wash it away. You did it differently. So I'm just wondering if what I do is effective or not.
Absolutely. There are no hard and fast rules.
The other question I had is, I like to meditate while I'm listening to a mantra or the Astraved Homa is on live or whatever. I'm not preferring to pray. And today you said we didn't need to pray to Lord Vishnu. He already knows, which I thought would be correct. So what I'm doing in the future, if I don't pray, it's not going to stop me from getting as much as I would want to get. Is that correct?
It's a great question. And here's the thing with prayer. Prayer is an intention. It's so sacred. It's so dear to us. We don't know where else to turn. So that's why we say, I pray to God. I pray that this works out. I pray to my ancestors. I pray to somebody out there who can help me. It might be somebody here on the earth plane. You just want them to hear your heartfelt intention. So it's a deep calling at the spiritual level, at that soul level, for whatever it is that you need help with, or you want to manifest something, and you can't do it on your own. So you're already doing that every day. We're thinking about what we want to manifest. It's already intended. The intention is there. So that it's kind of like I use the analogy of Toys R Us kids, because kids know that this is what they really desire. This is the toy. This is what I want. Mom, I want this. Dad, I want this. Or, iPad or whatever it is kids want these days. And then they just think about it all the time. They just don't know how they're ever going to get it. It's so much money. It's not on sale. It's out of their wheelhouse. They cannot get it on their own. So then they go to the Toys R Us or the Mac store, and then they're just crying, I want it, I want it, I want it. And the parents, no, not going to give it to you, not going to give it to you. Usually when they give it to them is when there's a special occasion. And usually that's over time. And then they will remember that the kid will remember, I got to be, focusing on that all the time, because I know Christmas is coming or my birthday's coming, or, it's got to be this time that they're going to give it. So we have to kind of be like that, like crying out to the divine all the time. And then when we actually go to the store, I want it, oh my God, I'm going to get it, oh my God. And they were totally freaked out and there's energy is all over the place. So the God, it's like that. The God already knows what's deep, deep inside of our heart's desire, that is going to be good for us, because we have crazy desires. We're all over the map with our desires. That's why we can't focus on one thing. And just note to self, not you, Linda, necessarily, but a lot of us, we go to a store, and if we don't have that list in our hands, we're going up and down the aisle and we're pulling stuff such that it's in the cart, and we look at the list and we haven't even got to the list. So that's how life is. It's like we have all these desires, and they're just not going to be good for us. So the divine knows what our prayer is. We don't have to keep saying it over and over. Although you can say it before a meditation, you can write it on a piece of paper, you can look at that, and then just dive into your meditation. Connect with that being, and he will pull up to the surface and help it to manifest in your life that which is right for you at the right time, so that you are not going to just have it and then throw it away. You love that thing. You want that thing. You're going to take care of that thing or person, whatever it is your heart's desire is. So prayer, and if you're praying to your ancestors, the prayer is that you just wish for their happiness. You wish for them to be free and out of being stuck, because that we're stuck in life and we don't like it. So we want them to be unstuck so that they can go to higher heights, because they don't have this physical body. They don't have limitations. They don't have to pay off their credit cards or their car payment, or deal with people at work or whatever it is, other family members. They are gone into these higher states of being. So they need to go higher. And as they go higher, then they can bless faster. So you pray, you make the prayer, however it is. It can be 6 generations, it can be 12, it can be infinite. You just have to feel it as you're doing it. So the prayer is as you're going into yourself, you're connecting with your higher self. And if it's an archetype you're praying to, if it's your ancestors you're praying to, if it's, you don't know, God only knows who you're praying to. You don't even know. You're just going in and asking that being to come in and speed up that intelligence that is already inside of you. You're connected to it, and to speed it up so that that energy starts to pump into your prayer, your intention, and fire it up and make it happen fast. So that's the long answer to that short question, Linda.
So if I just continue to say my mantras and meditate and not focus on giving them a laundry list, I'll still manifest what they want for me, correct?
Yeah, you can have your list. Have your list and know that it will be fulfilled when it is the right time. And then that way you don't get stressed out focusing on, but I want that box of Fruit Loops Cheerios, or I want that. I just have to have it. I want it. And then you get it and you eat it and you feel sick, So that's not a good desire. It is a good desire. It feels good. Yeah, yummy. But then just like in life, if you get a certain job or you get a certain guy or girl, if that's what you're after, a relationship, or you want to reconnect with your family and you haven't quite got up your that strength or that intelligence to hold peace and calm and harmony, then it's going to be a little bit of a mosh pit experience, right? So the divine knows what you want. You can keep looking at your list. You keep modifying it. You take one, as Dr. Pillai says, take 1 or 2 of those desires and focus on them. And then you will start to have thoughts. Do I really want this? How will I be if I have this? If I have this in my life, how will I be with that? Will I be so grateful? Will I be happy? Will I be able to share it? Will I be more in harmony with people as I'm interacting with those people? Will I be pumping in great thoughts about my own self? Will my self-talk change to be more positive, more fulfilling, more rewarding? So really look at your manifestations and then see where you are at this point in time. It doesn't mean that you can't have it down the road, but prepare yourself. Be ready to receive those beautiful gifts that you're going to receive. Because as we've mentioned, and as we know, and there's so many studies, people will get a load of money and then it will be gone in no time. And then they will have fights with people. They won't trust people. That's all starting from inside. So be careful. And careful means when you care about someone or something, you put attention to it. So care is attention. So you got your list, your bucket list, or your shopping list, laundry list, and you have your list. It keeps growing, or some gets X'd out, and the divine just says, oh, you just X'd that one out. That one's a good one for you. And you'll be surprised. You'll be like, oh my God, I X'd that one out, and that's exactly what I want. So when we are doing our prayers and setting our intentions and focusing on one or two things until it manifests, or until we get clarity around, is that really what I want right now? Or can I look at my list and go, hey, I want that. That could happen right now. I know it. I feel it. I'm aligned with it. Then the being will go, no problem. Here you go. You're aligned. There's the energy. So if you're doing mantras and you're out of alignment, you're actually protecting your own self. The divine is protecting you from getting out of that mess. So, it's the prayer is important to say the prayer, but after that, you just swim in the consciousness of the divine.
My boss was being very negative, so I thought, well, he owns the company. I'm going to have to be the one that leaves in order for this to change. But I was wrong. And what happened was he stopped coming into the office at all. So I wasn't exposed to the negativity, which I was exposed to every week before when he came in. And then after so many weeks of that, he started coming in and being positive. And this has went on for several weeks. So definitely there was a shift that I didn't expect. And me looking for a job elsewhere didn't bring it about, and it wouldn't have been a good thing for me to work elsewhere, because this was so close and the building was so nice. I liked what I was doing. I was all alone. I could play the mantras. Nobody was bothered by it. It was great, except for him coming in, and being negative. And that's all shifted, to where it's all positive. So I was really pleased about that. And as far as the tarpanum goes, when I was born, my mother was like, I guess you'd call it a rageaholic, yelling at the top of her lungs all the time. And the reason she did this is because her father was like that. So when I was a child going to my grandparents, I'd see him screaming and yelling at the top of his lungs. And he died when I was like just starting to be an adult. But I can't say that I ever did anything negative towards him. All I can say is that I didn't like him because of his bad behavior. I was like a child and he was the unhappy adult that was yelling all the time. But when I do my tarpanum, I'm very aware that he's always present. And I've been doing it most days for a long time, and he's still always present. Like I know he's not gone to the light. And just now saying that, because I'm talking to you with my eyes closed, I see a white light flash that what I'm saying is correct, So why would he be around me if I haven't been the one offending him? I just didn't like what he was doing, like everybody else, okay? But I wasn't hurting him. And he was the one that had the bad behavior. Why is he always around me and I'm getting this negative influence from him? And this has not shifted, even though I do the tarpanum, day after day, year after year sort of thing. And even when I do it, not only do I pray for them to go to the light, I visualize the white light. Like I visualize him in the white light. The white light is him, that sort of thing. Any comment about that?
Yeah, Linda, it's great that you're sharing about that. And here's the thing, it's just like with your situation with your boss. Something is going to shift. Just keep doing it. Now, another thing can be that because we share the gene pool of our ancestors. It can be our father, it can be grandfather, it can be all these, generations that we don't even know where it was messed up, or some curse was passed through the generations such that every family member would, or someone in the family member in that lineage at that generational time would experience this kind of, someone's yelling at someone and someone has to take it on. And so far it's come to you, which is great, because you have something on the spiritual path that you can do to help to absolve that. Now, there are year-long Tarpanum programs that you can participate in, which I would recommend highly for everyone. At least do it for 1 year to get a breakthrough, because if you haven't propitiated the ancestors, even if you gave them, did funeral rites, even if you love them, they can still be stuck. Maybe you had a great relationship and your grandmother, grandfather, whoever it was, mother, father, when they passed, everybody was celebrating the life, but they are still pinging you and they're bothering you. And that was a good life. So, it can just be that they're stuck, like, help me get out of this mess. So something through the lineage, maybe someone had suffered, someone got cursed, maybe there's restless spirits around his spirit that is pinging him to go and talk to you. Because as we evolve, we're the ones who have this knowledge, or we have access to this knowledge and this technology. So they're the ones who are pinging us. It's not that and we're answering, or we're observing it, or we're experiencing it. It's not that your siblings won't or anyone else won't, but they won't necessarily know what to do if they're not aware of this technology.
So he can't get a treatment from them because they're not into this stuff, basically.
Sorry?
He can't get any treatment from them because they're not.
Yeah, he can't get any help. Yeah.
Do the remedy.
Yeah, so, do that. Also, if you work with Kalkidas or Hanumandas, as we spoke about them over the years, they are kind of like surgeons, that they will go in and find those restless spirits, or if it is your father or grandfather, whoever it is, then they will help them to cross over, because that's what they do. That's their specialty. Just as if you had cancer and needed it to be removed, your GP can't do that necessarily. You have to go to an oncologist, get a bunch of tests, and then go get the surgery and follow up protocol. So that's what working with Kalkidas or Hanumandas, they will settle down your ancestors. They will also help you to come out of past life karmas, because that's also part of your lineage of your soul. So the soul genetics, it keeps coming back and wanting to do the same thing over again. So that can be disturbing your peace of mind, or pinging you and causing you to be disturbed doing the Tarpanum. Maybe the ancestors are happy, but there's a negative force that says it's not happy. And then what comes to your mind is your father or your grandfather. So, it's something that's very customized and personalized. That's why you have to be screened to jump into one of those programs. But that would be the next step that I would recommend for you, Linda, if you have already been doing it for some time, and then you've been immersed in programs, year-long programs, and that's not getting at it, and he's still coming, or that energy is still coming, then it might be something that you want to explore down the road, and then you can get resolved from it.
Yeah, I do what I can according to my budget, and I can't afford everything, and like I'm getting some of that through the Shri Brazil immersion, or the booster. I can't remember which, and like there's one this week. I think it's the 13th, the Brahma dosha, or whatever they call it. That
yes.
So I do a lot of things aside from what I do at home. I do what I can afford to do. And even what you brought up about the past lives, the first past life that I had was of me being like a lord, and that kind of behavior, the rageaholic, lording over the peasants, all that kind of, like you see the lords in Downton Abbey, that's exactly what I saw, me,
Yeah.
And I never felt sorry for myself after I saw that past life clip. And it's not just seeing it, you're experiencing it.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I felt sorry for myself and wondered why me? Why am I around all these rageaholics, you know? And when I experienced the past life, then I understood the shoes on the other foot. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself anymore. And, you know, so it must be gradually shifting, just not enough for me to be clear of him. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, you know, why is he showing up with me? Because I wasn't the one causing the problem to him. It was the other way around. He was causing the
Right.
problem to everybody. So it's just about, he knows I'm doing the remedies, whereas my sister or brother are still drinking, not doing remedies. So there's no point going to them. And another thing about him, I would say this is going back maybe 30 years, but when I was meditating, and these earthbound spirits like him would just show up, and I would be aware, this one is my boyfriend.
Yes.
Who died from a stroke, and my grandfather's here, and he was died suddenly in a car collision, and I was aware of these ones with me. And then I would be meditating, and it would just move them along so that they weren't earthbound anymore. They were able to cross, or whatever you want to call it. And so that was great. And I was also told from within, the reason he stayed earthbound for 20 years after he died was because of him yelling at everybody, that now he's around people like my grandmother or whoever, but nobody's aware of him. See, he's earthbound, he's aware of them, but they're not aware of him. So before, he was forcing himself on people, yelling at everybody, and now they don't hear him. They don't know that he's still earthbound and around, type of thing at all. So he was like suffering for 20 years while he was earthbound.
Yeah.
And I was told from within that was his karma for all this yelling in business, see? And after the 20 years, I guess the divine figured that's enough, okay? That's when he shows up in my apartment. I'm aware of him, and just through meditating and stuff, it just moved him so that he was no longer earthbound. And once again, I'm seeing the lights flash from within, type of thing. But this was all meant to play out. So I guess, like you're saying, I keep doing the remedies that I can, and it'll keep shifting. And then one day I won't be aware of him.
Absolutely. Or you'll be at peace. You'll be at peace thinking about him. You won't be charged. And then that energy won't be pervading through your family. And this is what happens too. We've had experiences, many of us who have been on the path with Dr. Pillai over the years, over the decades, our whole family, those issues get resolved because of our commitment to our own practice. So that there is so much truth to the saying, you know, you can, if you change yourself, that will be the greatest gift to the world. It will be God's gift to the world. So be God's gift to the world. And be God's gift to the people around you. That's your world around you. You don't have to go to the big world. Just go to the world around you and allow those people in your life to experience the healing that comes through. And by and by, over the years, you will start to see. And as the consciousness of the whole planet shifts and people get on the spiritual path, everybody's meditating to some degree or another. They're doing yoga, they're eating consciously, more nutritiously. You know, there's all this awareness that is coming across the internet like fire. So, and then there's all kinds of upheaval. So this is what happens. Creation comes out of chaos. So creation comes out of really chaotic situations, but we are on the spiritual path with Dr. Pillai. Keep doing your practice. That is your go-to. That is your peace, and that is your eye in the storm of what is going on around you. And soon as you get stronger and stronger, that divine light will spill over, and then everything will calm down. Because how does a storm stop? You can predict, oh, it's going to go on for 1, 2, 3 days, whatever. You can measure it with scientific tools, but not always that's the case. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, something is supposed to happen, you know, for 3, 4 days or whatever. It can be done in an hour. And it's like, oh, guess that just blew over. So it can be like that in your life. You can see all of a sudden your siblings might wake up, or at least there's peace and harmony. Maybe they still have their behaviors that they're doing and so on, because the ancestors are disturbing them to keep continuing to do that. They just can't do anything about it. So thank you so much for sharing, Linda. We have some other people who
Yep.
want to ask a question, share experiences. Is that okay?
Hi, this is Ginny.
Hi, Jenny. Oh, look at you, Jenny.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I just wanted to share during the meditation, a lion appeared, and right before it appeared, both my legs jerked off the bed, and there was this lion in my face for about 5 or 7 seconds, and then it slowly faded out, and then it happened 3 more times. So I was wondering if you could speak to that. I don't know about the lion.
Yeah, it's a great experience, and that's what happens when the presence comes in, or when we connect with these archetypes, these divine beings. We will all of a sudden have jerky movements because they're coming in so suddenly, and so it's great. That's a good experience. And then the lion, because this is Lord Vishnu's day, one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu is a lion man. So he
Oh,
has, and he is ferocious. He is just going to take out, suddenly, he's just going to rip out any negativity that's in your aura, that's in your space, that's in your life. And he will help to take away limited thinking. He will make you to have a divine ego versus that ego that edges God out, that doesn't trust, or it's skeptical, or it doubts. It doubts yourself, your your thinking. So maybe as you were jolted, you can, recall, or maybe the thoughts are coming to you about things that you felt about yourself. Allow it to come up and just leave it. Just say goodbye. This lion man, Vishnu, he's going to just rip it out of me. So let him do it.
yeah, random thoughts were coming through my mind that
Ah,
15 years ago, like random thoughts. I was trying to shut it out because I was like, be quiet, I need to meditate, And then I realized, I said, oh, this is coming up to be healed or to be released. So yeah, I let it happen. So oh, good. Okay, great. So the lion that's excellent. Okay, good. Thank you
yeah.
so
And then
much.
if you want to go on to YouTube, and Dr. Pillai has some teachings on Narasimha, and also Pillai Center Academy, there's a Narasimha program. So if that archetype comes to you, go and find out about it.
Okay.
Anyone, and then take that program, because it's something that was going to help you. So you're not just randomly choosing this and that. There's so many courses. So how do you know what's right for you? Is that experience. So the God is
Okay.
coming in and saying, hey, it's me. It's this one. There's 10 avatars of Vishnu, and this is the one who came for you. So
Okay.
you can dive deeper, and he also gives you beauty. He gives you that glow. He breaks you free of the past, so you'll be naturally in alignment with him.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Thank you so much for the info. Thank you.
Yeah, explore it and enjoy, and please share afterwards.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sweet.
Hi,
uh,
Margarita. I have a question. This is Pranava.
Hi, Pranava Goddess, how are you?
Good. This is animal time, I guess. I was in a dream this morning. A snake had half of its back tail body cut off, and it jumped on me and bit me on my palm, like below my small finger,
Okay.
my pinky. And I grabbed my other hand trying to get the jaw off me, and it was digging more. I thought, oh my God. So I woke up going, ay, ay, ay. So it's animal. I was laughing, going, oh my God, people are into the animal now, into animals. So
Well,
what would that be?
can you see on the camera?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Lord Vishnu, another form of Lord Vishnu. And here's the snake bed he's on. So you can
Uh-huh.
see, right? And so the
Yes.
snake represents the control of those forces that are causing us to be out of our senses. We're not sensible. So it can be that there's some snaky people in your life, or it can be from the past. Maybe not more now, but it's just that residual energy. And you said your pinky finger, did you say the baby finger?
Right below the pinky on my palm.
Yeah, so the pinky finger is associated with Lord Mercury, and Mercury's overlord is Lord Vishnu. So it seems to me that there's some, you know, something that's coming up for you that needs to be cleared, and just to let it go. So don't dive into too much analysis of it, but it is something to bring to your attention and be aware of your communication. So anything to do with Mercury. And maybe you're going to be taking risks because the sun is transiting Mercury, or sorry, sun is transiting Mercury's sign, Gemini. And it's the third house, and it's all about courage, bravery, risk-taking. So be careful when you're planning, if you're going to plan to take risks or you're thinking about it, then really make sure that contracts are signed. Everything is in black and white, you know, so there's no snaky behavior going on.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, major, for you, Pranava, because I know a little bit about you, just make sure that everything is legally, everything is written contracts. Because see, in the old days, here it is. In the old days, you could just say, hey, I can come and do this for you. And you go, great, come on over. And they did it. That's when there was a lot of light and a lot of intelligence. And I'm talking about Vedic times. I'm not talking about this lifetime. So, but this lifetime in the Kali Yuga, everything is about contracts. Even if you're working for Dr. Pillai in his spiritual organization, everything has to be contractual. So everything has to be signed and written and everything, you know? So it's saying to all of us, wake up to those snaky people in your life or those snaky situations where you're just going to end up biting yourself. You know, because nobody came and bit you. You know, your consciousness said, this is a problem. So being the sun illuminating Mercury's house, and it's all about business, money transactions, communication. So for you, Linda, I would say, you know, twice bitten, whatever that saying is. I wouldn't even say it because I don't know. If you're bitten a lot, then you're shy to do it, you know? So make sure that you watch out for that and have everything in writing.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And it can also be just, you know, these snaky situations they're leaving you, but they're not going to leave quietly. And they kick back and they bite back before they go because you're kicking them out. You're saying, no, there's no room for you here anymore. It can be thoughts, it can be past memories, it can be anything. And so as that's being released, because the divine has opened the floodgates, and it's like Pandora's box, everything is in there. So as it's leaving, it's saying, oh, wait a minute, I want to go back in. And then you're going, no, the divine has taken over. I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it. And then they kick and scream. They want to keep coming. So you just keep surrendering it to the divine. So if you are having those kinds of really intense experiences, or bringing to your attention those experiences, then look in your life for those snake bite situations or poisonous situations. Anyone? Thanks for bringing it up, Pranava. Arti, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, good.
See, actually, about the snake also, I want to ask you, since last 2-3 days, I always get a feeling, I'm staying at my new house is at the ground floor, and it's rainy season in India. So I always get the feeling that even I'm praying or I'm sleeping, I get up from the sleep. I feel that a black snake comes out from ground floor to jump in from my window and sitting there on the shelf over there at the window. So I get scared. I have pets in my home and we are sleeping and the snake has come. So I last 2-3 days I'm just closing my windows with the fear. How come this is actually nobody says, but I can't see the face front side of the snake, but I just see a black like in a circle. The snake is there on around the window, so I get so scared for this.
Yeah, so be careful. I mean, you know, be careful. But if it is in If it's not in real life snake, then you also want to take a look at Rahu and Ketu in your chart. So get an astrology consultation, find out if you have a snake affliction in your chart. You can ask the astrologer for that. And then if you do, if you've had a naughty astrology and the snake is there, the snake affliction is there, then you do the remedies to do that. And again, that's a remedy that you have to keep working on and working on because you're born to do that. That's what you're
I'm just thinking of doing Nadi reading. Now the camp is there in Mumbai. So I'm just planning to take that appointment.
Arti, do it. Do it.
Okay, and one more thing I would like to ask you. So when we are chanting, or like normally what I do my daily puja since past so many years, or the Tarpanam which I'm doing for past 3 years, sometimes we get good vibrations and the response that the divine is listening or divine is responding and accepting the prayers. And sometimes it happens nothing, like just a mechanical. No response from divine side comes. Even I'm chanting, I'm just chanting mechanically. My mind also chanting. And sometimes when, even with you, when I'm doing this power time practice meditation, I don't see any light, but I get so much vibrations or a heat or a coolness feeling or some sort of experiences are there always. And sometimes nothing, all black, all dark. So why sometimes everything turns black and mechanical, and sometimes we are getting so much response from the divine also. What blockage is
it's like night and day. So you can go into yourself and into your practice and into your life, and you will see where you'll see things very clearly, and then there will be times where you're confused or dark. So just like the sun rises and then there's light and it sets and there's dark. That's nature. So that's the nature of the soul, goes along with the nature of the world and of the person that is connecting with the divine. So we want to, and it's good that you brought this up, Arti, because everyone wants to replicate a really cool meditation or mantra practice where you're feeling the vibrations, and then on another time you're just like, you hit a wall of darkness. And that's exactly what you did, is that your light expanded and then it hit a wall, literally, or a dark forest or some block that is not light. So now you're going to break through that barrier. So it's a never-ending story, lifetime after lifetime. And in this lifetime and in your meditation practice, you're not just doing something to get something. You're in a stream of consciousness. So you're going up to the divine, and you're going into the divine and deep diving, going deeper and deeper. And you've got the light sometimes might shine on the things on the ocean as you're going down into the ocean. And then you have to go deeper into the darkness, and then the light will show you. So, it's natural. And that is a good sign, because it's a never-ending story. If you were light all the time and you're still going about in your everyday life, then you would be delusional.
Why I'm losing path, by listening to your calls and this chanting calls. Normally I attend power time practice, Friday Philip, and chanting call. These three. Sunday I couldn't attend any call. I just got the recording afterwards. So many pile-ups are there. So Monday miracle calls also I couldn't attend. But my pets now, they always sit when I on my phone. They don't watch, but they sit next to me and they do listen. Or even if I'm working, I'm in which room I'm going, bedroom, drawing room or kitchen, anyway, they're following me. Full gang is following me. And my Tesha is so particular, like even if I'm thinking or I'm talking with someone and the negative thought comes in my mind, or I'm praying or I'm chanting and the negative thought comes or my mind wanders, she shouts at me, stop it, what are you doing? And then I stop it. Now I just say, okay, sorry, thank you for reminding me. Then she keeps quiet and sleep next to me or kiss me. Okay, now you got the message. Like that, they are reminding me, be positive, don't be negative. They are getting the powers from this practice.
That's great.
So I'm thankful to you for all. and Dr. Pillai.
Thank you, Arti, and God bless you. We're going to go on. Is that okay if we go on to the next person?
Yeah, thank you.
Aw, sweet. So please do your naughty. If it's available, go do it, because it sounds like whenever we get into a stream of consciousness, the divine is then guiding us to do the next thing. And when the divine is guiding us, the next thing will be there.
Okay.
Cecilia. Cecilia?
Yeah, hello, Sukarita.
How are you?
Yeah, fine.
Oh, how are you?
I'm very grateful for this power time. I'm always calm to be here also, and I want to share something today with my meditation. It was the first time that I saw Visvamitra on my third eye. That's because I didn't have this, I have not a connection with Visvamitra until today. And I was very surprised that I could see him very clearly on my third eye. And I was so happy.
Oh, great. And for those people who don't know who Vishvamitra is, he's the Maharishi or divine saint, the great saint who was a king, and then he became a great yogi to bring the sound Brazi. So Brazi births wealth consciousness into all of us. And that's why we're doing Shri Brazi immersion and chanting Shri Brazi all the time. So you getting the blessing of Maharishi Vishvamitra, Cecilia, that is great. That's a great sign that you're on the right track and money is coming.
Yeah, thank you. I want to also share this because, when we were meditating about Dr. Pillai to see the light, it came then Visvamitra, and I was very surprised.
Well, he was Vishvamitra in a previous lifetime. And in this lifetime, his name was Brazi.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's nice.
So you're really connecting. And that's that's the thing. See, we have to understand, everyone, we have to understand at a quantum level, the quantum physics level is that we're just vibrating. We're vibrating, atoms and subatomic particles and waves and energy, and we're solidified and we call ourselves who we call ourselves. But really, as we get into the stream of consciousness, all that shakes away because literally our eyes are closed. So we're not focusing on our body anymore. So some of us have out-of-body experiences or really deep body experiences or deep accessing that deep subtle body. So those different layers of our being are swimming around, and then we are grabbing onto states of being, past, present, future. And we are remembering in those little tiny particles of ourselves that this is what you want to remember about yourself now. And so Dr. Pillai, that's what he does. He's a spiritual master. He doesn't have to be here. He is here. His energy is here. His intelligence is here. His guiding hand is here. And then our souls are in his hands. That's why we come to a spiritual master, because we can't see anything on the spiritual plane. We don't, even if you think you have your third eye open, it's not, until your third eye fully opens. This is what people always ask me, when will I know if my third eye is fully open? When a dead body comes to life, and you're not even saying, oh, I'm going to make that dead body to come to life. Dead people will just start to come alive. So that's the level of the third eye being open, because you're no longer there. The divine is just there, and the divine is so compassionate, so merciful. So they don't want to see suffering. So that's the goal of the third eye opening, but it doesn't mean that it can't be opening gradually and then you benefiting from it. So Dr. Pillai is that guide for all of us, and his energy Those particles of light, if you will, are merging with our particles of who we are. And that is doing a dance to help us to understand what it is that we need to see now and what will keep us going on our spiritual path. So beautiful sharing, Cecilia.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
And you look very happy and lovely, goddess.
Yeah.
Aw, sweet.
Okay.
God
Thank
bless you.
Bless you. Yeah.
Hi, Sucharita.
Bye.
Hi, Sushma. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. And I'm so proud that finally I can see you. For last 3-4 weeks, either I could not log in, I had to be somewhere else, or if I logged in and I'm having the bandwidth of my internet was not enough and I was not connecting properly. Even today I missed all the meditation and everything, but around noon time we connected like around 11:50, so I can hear everything very clearly. And couple of things I want to share with you. One, I'm doing Shreem Brizzy. The way Gina explained how to multiply the effect of Shreem Brizzy. So I'm doing that.
With the flower petal offering?
Yes, flower petal, chocolate, and
Good.
fresh turmeric. Fresh piece of fresh turmeric tied with a sacred red thread, with a tiny red cloth around the goddess Lakshmi, and glass of water, and a ghee lamp, everything. Uh, so, and then I drink that water as well, because that water has heard a lot of mantras. And I also play Dr. Pillai's new YouTube. It has, the heading is 1008 Shreem Brizzy. It's in Dr. Pillai's voice. I play that too for a good 7-8 hours and put it on listen and repeat. And also I sit down myself too, and I also, but it's not that I haven't so far, in a way, maybe I don't see the success, but it has moved a little bit, like in I do insurance and investments, and at least it's totally, business was totally dead. And even though, for example, last week I went to somebody's house for an appointment was there, but the guy said, oh, since it's a big commitment, I have to think about it. And the same thing yesterday, I never met my landlord in over a year. He walked, knocked at the door, and him and his father and the guy who was a management guy, the realtor, 3 of them. So I was not properly dressed, but then all of a sudden it came to me, Sushma, you should look sharp. So while they were still upstairs having a plumber and going things and whatnot, so I dressed up really sharp and found an excuse to go say hello and talk to them. And they asked what I do for business. So they asked for a few quotations for himself and his son. So the quotations are there. I'm hoping I will close sometime this month. And it's like 3-4 people are around, but haven't closed any one of them. So at least it's a move in the right direction. But I'm not gonna give up. Yeah. And the dream, why I do a yoga meditation mixed course. It's follow-up sessions at somebody's house, not very far. And I try to go, but it's hard for me to get up at 3 o'clock, get ready and be there at 4. Today I went, and our team, they are friends of mine. And I came home, I was so tired because I can't sleep until 12:30 or so after midnight. So it was not enough sleep for me. I went back to bed, and then I'm dreaming about them. They both came to my place, and they don't have much time. They have to go to work, and I'm off in the house where the house I'm in. It's a beautiful house, and in my dream, it's my house. And the kitchen is so beautiful, but the sun is coming so intense, I cannot see things around. So I close some of the curtains, and I'm making a tea. And they said, hurry up, you know. the dream is so long, and my tea is not made, and the dream changed. But to keep them busy, I give them some snacks. Here is cookies, and they get they're so beautiful. Where you get that? And my tea is never made. Then and I snap out of my dream, and it's Sucharita's program. I have to log in.
Nice to have you here, Sushma. And congratulations.
Yeah.
Keep doing your practices because it will show up.
But I want to ask you another different angle. My another question for my younger
Can you bring
son.
your phone up to your?
He's,
Can you bring your phone up to your mouth? I can't hear you, Sushma.
Okay, my younger. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, my younger son, he's about 29 years old in August, a couple of months. And if he is okay in the right frame of mind, he's his intelligence level is like a 40, 50-year-old man. He talks like that ever since he was a young kid. But sometimes he gets like he has anxiety, depression, anger, a lot of things, and he does not get success, frustration in his life. He loves to do stocks and options, but he always ended up losing all that wealth. And just a sec. And he to the point he ends up being crazy. He has addiction problem too. He does marijuana and he smokes a lot, and then he loses his balance. He was in a hospital.
You know what, Sushma, this is pretty personal, so perhaps we can take it off this line and then send an email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will send you an email because I wanted your advice or somebody's advice if I should get the power done. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Sushma.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Shweta, you're there. Next goddess, Shweta.
Hi, Sucharita. Long time.
How are you?
Good. Once again, thank you for the meditation and your sharings. I was wondering when you were talking about connecting with the ancestors earlier in the fall, I don't feel like I've made a very thorough or a focused intention list for them. I feel like I do have it in my head, you know, in subtle ways.
It's not necessary, Shweta.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, is that we want to just do the thing, give them the offering, that they can do whatever they want to do.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because, when you start to make like talk about having a list, I was like, oh, I don't even know what questions to ask myself or prompts to even.
Well, here's the thing, is just whatever you're suffering, you can see the suffering in the life. If it's financial suffering, if it's health related, if it's relationship, you know, the areas of life that are being impacted adversely, you can just say, please bless me in my finances. Please bless me in my, my health. And that's what you're looking for, is for them to be relieved, to go into high heights, and then they're in high heights. So like, hey, what do you want?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. I was like, kind of got caught up there when you were like, I was like, I don't even know. I haven't even made a list for them like I do for some other things, but thanks for the clarification.
Sure. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
Oh, wow. Okay, Shweta. Awesome. You're full of joy. I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, God bless.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Veronica. Veronica? Okay,
Hello.
how about Veronica? How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, good.
So again, amazing meditation. I was having a pain in my lower back and it went away.
Oh, good.
Yes. Oh, yes. I would like to just quickly mention also a dream I have, since we're talking about animals, funny enough. Yeah, it's interesting, these themes. Well, I dreamt that I was in my childhood home and I was by the shed, and there were these two beautiful portals right next to each other. One was pink and one was blue. And I got the feeling that it was Lakshmi and Vishnu.
Yeah.
And then right next to me, who comes right next to me, funny enough, is, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the show The X-Files, Agent Mulder and Scully.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big X-Files fan, and yeah, they're right next to me, and Mulder's looking at it, and he goes, you know what, Veronica, you know what you would call that? A Heinz 57. And I just thought that was interesting. And then next thing I know, in the scene, we're driving on the road, Mulder and Scully are in the front seat, I'm in the back, and we stop at this field, this beautiful field. It looked like a farm, and it looked like it went forever. And what was growing from these fields were these beautiful fruit-like flowers that were purple, and they were mixed, if you were to combine a flower and a fruit and a gem. I mean,
Wow.
I never seen anything like it. And every so often they would start lighting up. And they were beautiful. And there were these two trees next to me that were growing, and these beautiful plants were growing, and there were 4 crows eating them.
Okay.
Yes. And Mulder comes up to me, says, you know, there's more than enough for everyone. He says, for the animals, for these crows, for us. He says, it's a great lie that there's not enough. And
That's awesome, Veronica.
yeah. And then Scully comes up to me, and no one's familiar with the show. Scully's the skeptic and Mulder's the believer. She says, you know, Veronica, there's more stranger things out there than you can ever imagine. And I looked at Scully, I said, that's funny coming from you of all people, because she's a skeptic. And she gives me this smile. Scully rarely smiles. And she says, oh, I learned it the hard way. And Mulder claps his hand. He says, well, Veronica, we got to take you to San Diego. Let's go. And that was the end of the dream.
Wow. So I guess you're going to Guru Purnima in San Diego.
I hope so.
Yay! That's a great dream.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too, Veronica, and anyone else who's having these, or you're listening and you're going, oh, I do have dreams like that, or my meditations are like that. That's because your consciousness is merging with consciousness that is in the future, in the past, that's already happened, or it's happening now and it's being uncovered, or we're going to discover it. So anything goes. This is a time where our souls decided to evolve at this point where the Kali Yuga is ending and the golden age has begun. And there's just this mixture of human and divine. And so we have to evolve. This is a no-brainer. It's going to be an evolutionary jump for everyone on the earth plane, whether they're spiritual or not. Like Scully, whether she's wanted to or not, she's got to jump. Everybody's got to jump. So we get glimpses into this through the dream plane, and then also through our meditations. So, and then in our life, all of a sudden, I'll feel like a matrix moment where I'll just see something out of the periphery and I'll go, what, did I just see that? So you're not losing your mind. And it's a great insight also for you, is to, continue to see that there's always going to be those dualistic tendencies inside of us that says, oh, I don't believe, or I do believe at some point, but then, I don't believe, or if you're planning on go to Guru Purnima and then you have some doubts or something comes up and then you don't believe it, just keep going, keep pushing into your meditation, and you just hand it over to the divine and say, you do it. You got to make it happen. So thank you, Veronica.
Yeah, thank you. And also with the crows, does that have to do something with Saturn?
Yeah. So just explore that a little bit. Do your Saturn. Thanks for reminding me. We usually do this every call, as we have our Saturn lamp. So on a Saturday, everybody, you can make and eat. It's easy to make. This is just a little brass dish bowl, and then you put cotton wicks, twist them together, and put a little bit of sesame oil and then black sesame seeds in there. And then I have it on a plate because it drips the oil. So you just leave it there and you'll feel tremendous peace. You'll get blessings from Lord Saturn. And then the four crows that you mentioned, you know, the four is a square. So you want to square things away. You want to create a structure. Saturn is all about creating structure in your life for that thing to happen.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you know, it's funny, we're entering this time, which is the perfect time to be alive. We're entering a time of enlightenment.
Yeah.
And I hear the beginning of enlightenment. And I hear a lot of different seers, many different people of different backgrounds are saying the same thing, that we're entering this this is the beginning part of the golden age of enlightenment. So it's pretty exciting.
It is exciting because with more light, you can see more. That's all enlightenment is. It just means there's more intelligence inside. So it's just like a computer. If it has good intel inside, you're going to have things will happen fast.
Also, I quickly looked what Heinz 57 means besides the ketchup, and it says it's also another term to use like as a combination.
There you go.
Yeah, because that was interesting when, you know, the two portals of Lakshmi and Vishnu, and Mulder says that's what you would call a Heinz 57.
Yeah, because you have to be very balanced in your life. We have a masculine side of us and a feminine side of us. So, you know, that energy has to be balanced in order for you to be receiving that full-on support. So as above, so below. So these divine beings that you had a portal to or an opening to, they are representing wealth consciousness. And then they are the masculine representative and also the feminine representative. So you're very balanced in your thinking. It's coming in very balanced. And then you are going to have a nice steak with your Heinz 57 on top.
Yeah, exactly. I have to say, Sucharita, too, you always crack me up. You could have been a comedian. You're very funny, by the way, just naturally.
Oh, that's good. That's the divine coming in.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Sucharita. Love and blessings to you and everyone.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you. Okay, Lars. Lars, did you want to share something?
Yes, this is me, Lars.
How are you?
I'm very fine. I was so lucky this week. I got $2,500 in insurance money from a leak that I had on my roof. That was really great. I could pay down my bills and say, yes, welcome to the summer.
Congratulations, Lars. You were hoping Shreem Brazil was going to do that for you, right?
Yeah, I was so lucky. But I've been listening to all of you, but the really things that really makes me makes my heart go light, or what you say, it really makes my heart go into love is I asked this Prasna astrologer also this week, because I work in school, and the summer here in Norway has been very, very dry, so it hasn't been raining for many weeks. It's been very, very hot, and I started to notice I often see a lot of dirt, a lot of sand go sparkling in the sunlight when the children go playing and running in the fields. And I asked Prasna, what is the divine going to tell me about this? And the answer really touched my heart, because it says you are very connected with the divine, and God is really going to show you the fortune and luck in the future. So I just wanted to say to all of you that even though I wanted the money for the short time coverage of bills and things like that, what really enjoys my heart is the connection with the divine. That is really what I want, and that is really the purpose of my life, to really feel the connection with the divine. And I also know when I listen to the Wednesday calls with what is her name again?
Lalita, the Shrimberzy
Yeah.
Wednesday call? Yes.
Yeah, and there were some questions about they did not really quite understand the connection. Why should we use so much time with the planets, astrology, instead of just have the focus on the Shrimbercy? I have been listening to Pillai for many years now, and I also did the last Shrimbercy course, and I really deep down in my heart know that everything is really important. The money you need now, the planets, the archetypes, and everything is just the long run to get in touch with the divine. So that is really what has opened up my heart this week.
Oh, I'm so happy for you, Lars, and very well said and shared, and we received it very well. Some people are posting notes. Please check those on Skype, or on the chat.
Yeah.
That's great. And this is so people say to me, well, why do I have to do rituals? Why do I have to, meditate? Why do I have to what is the point of doing all this? This is the golden age. So the golden age has happened before. So that it gets to a point where the golden age is happening and then it declines. So the consciousness declines as the world goes, as the world turns. Now, at the golden age, during the golden age, that's what it's all about. It's doing rituals, it's doing remedies, it's doing services to the divine, to bring more divinity into your life and to bring more into the planet. So everyone here, if you're called at this point in time to be doing, finding out about these rituals, and you start to do your tarpanam, make it like your daily routine, and then you're doing the world's your own little world, a world of good, and then also it just spills over into your community and into your city, country, and so on, and connect the dots if all of us are doing it. So don't try to get out of doing your rituals. Just start diving into them more and more, because that is what is going to help you to continually connect with the divine. Just as keeping a good health, brushing your teeth, or keeping your health up in various ways, eating right, exercising, and so on. You got to do something with this physical form to be able to evolve and continue to evolve as the golden age comes in. So rituals are the entry point to that. That's what is receiving it.
And also, Pillai says at the start of this Shrimbercy immersion course, it's very important to read the book God Changes Your Brain. I took it with me this weekend for a holiday trip and started to read it again. I read it last fall. And I said, wow, this is really something. I had forgotten many things, but really it's an eye-opening to read the book, and you go into the meditation practices. There's about 10 of them that you can try to look who's best for you. And this is really something everybody have to look into. What Pillai says, read the book God Changes Your Brain. That is really eye-opening too.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Lars.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good weekend.
Oh,
then. Bye.
God bless. It's so nice to hear the joy inside of you after, the time you've gone through where I don't know what's going to happen and it's a struggle. So God bless you for hanging in there and keep doing your mantra practice in your other practices. Okay, 1561.
Hi, this is Lalita. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Lalita?
I'm doing good. You know, he talked about prasna, and I think last week or 2 weeks ago, somebody talked about it, and I never used it before, and I used it for the first time. And it was really good because, you know, sometimes your mind is wondering, you know, like what should I do, right? And it had to do with, you know, Guru Purnima is coming up, and there's so many choices. Do you go live for 7 days? Do you go live for 3 days? Do you do the webcast? Oh, my brain goes a little bit crazy, right?
There's only 3 days now. So that's the 7 days is out.
Oh, the 7 days is out. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, at that time, I put, you know, like the question was, shall I go 7 days or 3 days live or webcast, you know? And it came back to do 3 days webcast.
There
and
you
I thought, yeah, and it was like, it kind of, what I'm trying to say is that it settled all the thinking. You know how you might think. And then when I thought about it, I said, you know, that's really the right thing for me, you know, because it's really involved, you know, with, like, if it was Gerard would come and sit in the hotel room with me, whatever. It's so much better for me to do it that way. So I just got to say that by doing that question, it just settled and satisfied. And then I asked some other questions, and that was really good. And I think that it's like, for me, it's the first time that I was using it, right? But I found how it really helps kind of settle you, because you can finally ask the question and kind of stop all that mind thinking about something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm glad that you brought that up, because for those people who can't hear, it's prashna, is Prashna. So prashna is the service that Lars and Lalita are talking about. If you go, you can ask questions, and then how you know is the prashna will call you. So it is a divine tool, and it is a divine service or ritual, because they are tuning in and they're looking into you, and you are aligning with that. So everything is natural. It's aligned. You're aligned to get that information at that time, and it's going to be so right for you. So it's like the astrology consultation. It is the truth, and you got the truth.
Yeah, it was great because, okay, also I woke up in the middle of this night this one morning because I was thinking, I was already planning on going to this all-day workshop. And then, you know, in the middle of the night, I'm thinking, do I really need to go to that all-day workshop? Like, you know, and the questions are, you can just, for $11, you can ask 3 questions. So it's not very expensive either. And I thought, oh, I've got a question left in prashna, right? I'm saying that right?
That's fine.
And, yeah, and then I asked the question, and it said, yes, you know, like, so I went. And it was so amazing, because I ended up meeting a girl at the end, and I mean, she was so ripe for spiritual knowledge, and it was like the perfect place for me to be. But I thought, this is such an interesting tool, because it's like, I find sometimes when I'm trying to think about something, I'll go back and forth and back, you know, like that. And I thought, oh, I don't have to do that. I can ask a question, you know. So I really liked it. And I thought that it's very, very useful. So just wanted to share.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and the reason I got inspired is because somebody talked about it, I think a few weeks ago, about how they used it. And I thought, oh, you know what? Oh, I should do that. You know, it's like, so the sharing is really good.
I love this community, because how else will we know what to do and when to do? And it's kind of like a group consciousness has opened up this door, this portal, and said, try this, because we're on a spiritual path, and we don't know how to navigate. So when other people are saying, hey, do this, it worked for me, and it's here, so try it. If it resonates with you, do it. And then if you like it, then you can you know, share your experiences. So thank you so much for sharing that, Lalita.
Yeah, and just the last person talked about how, you know, the money came, I think, like, his money came right at the right moment, right?
Yeah.
It's like, right? And, okay, I just want to share too is that I working for somebody, and what's happened is my wages were like half for like a couple months, and it's hard to work with half your wages in a way. I know that there can be more openings, whatever, and more things are happening all across the board. But my partner had the opportunity of going and seeing a friend this weekend in Seattle because he's winning a Lifetime Achievement Award for his newscasting. And what happened is I said, oh, yes, we can go. You know, the tickets were cheap, everything. And then the day before we left, I got all my back pay. So I'm saying it's like, so I went forward with going for it, you know, but it was like the timing of the money coming was just like so perfect. So, you know, for everybody out there, Shreem Brzee, but it's like, you know, it's like the surprise, or like you said, the mystery, right? It's like the mystery, the surprise, the aha, you know, it's wonderful because you're not alone. And I guess the Scully dream too is they would say that all the time too, you know, you're not alone. You know, there's other beings in this universe. So I think just keep moving forward with whatever you want and you'll have surprises. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing, Lalita.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay.
Can I ask a quick question? I forgot to ask before.
Ginny, yeah.
Ginny, I just wanted to know, is Dr. Pillai going to be in New York over the summer? Did I hear that?
He's going to be in San Diego and then he's heading over to India.
India. Okay, so no New York. Okay, thank you.
He was in New York.
Huh?
He was in New York.
Oh, okay. Okay, thanks.
Okay, Ginny. Can we have S? Oops, Sweta, go ahead.
Just quickly with the New York City, I'm not sure who just asked. Sure, Dr. Pillai's not here, but we're starting our New York gatherings. So good. Our first one is June 22nd evening. So I'll put the link in the chat.
That's awesome, Sweta. Thank you. So S.
Hi, Sucharita.
Oh, Sunny, how are you?
Wonderful. Thank you for that beautiful meditation, as always. I'm having a challenge. I'm not as I can't let go as much as everybody else, but I get in my meditation, I saw a snake, and I think my Catholic background, I just like flip out. It's not like, oh, okay, there's a snake. It's like, what the heck is going on? You know, like I guess because before a couple of years ago, I was, you know, I had like such beautiful meditations, you know, with Dr. Pillai stuff. And then one time I woke up and my body was a snake and I was like, oh my goodness. And I left and nothing's happened since. And now a couple of years later, I saw like 2 weeks ago, like maybe a picture of a snake, but it was like drawn and it moved and it wasn't looking at me, but it had its neck like cocked back and it was coiled. And I was like, okay, it wasn't pointing at me. And then like a week later, this week or last week, then I always meditate with white on something white. And then I saw a snake, you know, not doing anything to me, but just like moving on something white. And I'm like, well, how would I ever know if this is like, oh, you know, your Kundalini, whatever, you know, I don't think that, or if it's like, I know the Indians are, everything is about snakes and a higher consciousness, but that's not my background. So I'm like, I see it and I'm like, I heard a little bit what you said. I'm like, okay, I powered through. I was doing like a meditation that I always love to do, Hanuman. And then I was like, I love this meditation. I'm not gonna stop. Like I wasn't that scared where I stopped and I finished it, but it was like very light and not as deep as usual. But I'm like, I sometimes I feel like, oh my God, like, oh, I'm Catholic. Am I being punished? Like this is not the path for me. And the only reason why I finished it, I came back last time after my body turned into it was because my yoga teacher, I remember she's like, don't take my word for it. What's your experience? And every experience with Dr. Pillai and all his meditations are beautiful. So I'm like, okay, no, I'm going back, I'm doing it. But then sometimes I feel like, you know, why would the divine show me a snake when I'm like, so I just don't.
So just take a breath right now, and everybody's going to hold the space of lots of love and lots of support. So you can just relax into it. And this is what happens, Sunny, with all of us, is it's not necessarily the snake and then the religious background. I'm just going to put you on mute for a sec. So what happens is whatever is coming up, the snake energy can be related to the Kundalini energy. It's also a very healing energy. Even in the medical symbol is the two snakes coming together. So that can be healing energy. So it can be that you're getting too caught up in what you were raised to believe in as per the Catholic culture. As Dr. Pillai shares, he has all these recovering Catholics. I'm one of them. You know, he started talking about demons and all these things. This is like, 20 some odd years ago. And I was like, oh my God, I just want to meditate and be calm and peaceful and, peace, love, Bobby Sherman, and just like bliss out. And all these devils and demons and all this talk and that was really disturbing my mind. So once I understood that there are light and dark forces and they express themselves in different ways. So again, the snake can be a healing energy, and it can also be an energy to make you to be alert. It can also be a symbol that the Kundalini is moving and you've got to settle yourself down now. You're doing too much spiritual practice. So you have to take some time to integrate that teaching. And people will say, what? I'm not going to do my stream brazils and all the rest. Yeah, you can. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's just some people will do these things like they'll have a great experience and then they'll just go and do 8 hours of meditation, or they'll go on a retreat with Dr. Pillai, or they'll go to India, or they'll go to a power spot, or they'll do, days and days in a row, or they'll really dive deep. And then whatever comes up, they can't handle it. So that has to be released, and then we can integrate that. So you may see a snake the next time and it's like not a big deal, because you have whatever deep-seated, or it's so rooted into your consciousness, not only in this lifetime, it doesn't sound like it probably sounds like many lifetimes where, some incident happened and you can't shake yourself free of that, because that's what meditation is going to continue to be, or yoga, or any spiritual practice. You can't run away from yourself. So whatever is inside of you is not necessarily culturally or religious in the traditional sense of what it is now, because Catholicism wasn't happening how many years ago, before the 2000, and then Islam is relatively new. So don't get too caught up on your, the culture or the faith, the tradition of that religion that you were raised in. That is just for something. It's a way for your soul to come in and explore deeper, take a look deeper into that. And maybe many lifetimes you were a Catholic and you suffered, because you were exploring what the snake energy is all about, or what are demons really all about. You went to that side, and that's what all people in all religions and all cultures go through. Even at the highest level, the highest priests, they will say, I've had too many dark nights of the soul. I'm quitting Christianity, or I'm quitting Judaism, because they can't count the answers. The answers are scaring the heck out of them. So when you meditate, it can be all of those things. It can be some of those things. It can be one of those things. It can be those things at different points in time. So as it's coming up for you, just know that I know last night you were up really late, because I was too, into the night. I didn't go to bed till like 4 or something like that. But it was because the energy of the goddess had come in. So there's the Kundalini energy, and it's just in us, and it's, you know, rooting out anything. Now that she's got her attention and we've fully immersed in it, she's going in and she's going to root out anything that we haven't been able to see. So in that rooting out process, she might pull the snake out of the closet, so to speak, and say, are you ready to deal with this now? And if it's upsetting you, then definitely relax with your practices. Or if you feel strong enough, you can go deeper into it, because sometimes that helps. So, but self-care. So what I recommend for you is take a bath. It can be a 10-minute bath. It doesn't have to be fully immersed in the bathtub. You can put your feet in a bucket of water with a little bit of Himalayan salt or crystal salt, or even if you don't have that, then table salt will be fine too. And then you just ask that this energy just releases from you, and you get further clarity around your situation. And then, you know, you have to explore it at some point. It can also be a snake curse that's coming through that you need to address. So like we shared, some other people shared, it's at some point on our path, we're going to have to look at Rahu Ketu in our chart, and we're going to have to look at any snake curses coming through the ancestors. So someone had posted on the chat, how do I get in touch with Kalki Karpasamy, Kalki Das, and Hanuman Das, who channels Lord Hanuman? And you have to come through me. So you can send an email, sucharita@pillai-center.com, and we will screen you. We will see if this is the right thing for you, or I can recommend something else. So it's Sunny, it's not a pleasant thing to go through, but as I have mentioned over the years, when I was going through those things and nobody was there to tell, and there was no remedies like this. In fact, Dr. Pillai said there's no remedies for you. You're a lost case. Oh, I was just like, no way. And, you know, fast forward to now, I made it through, and I'm here to be of support to people and to guide them, because there is a remedy for you for this situation, and whatever your soul needs at any point in time, it will prepare you to finally clear that. Sunny?
Thank you, Sucharita.
You're welcome.
So I would never really, I have to go by my feelings, like how I feel when I see the snake. Like if it's just
because
good.
If you're charged by it, and I used to be totally freaked out. I mean, and I was like, I'm like this, you know, I grew up with boys, and I was a total jock and like an athlete in my life, and I wasn't afraid of anything, and I wasn't even afraid of snakes, but I would see them and I would just have this tremendous like, ew. And then when Dr. Pillai said about snakes, and I come from a Catholic Christian background, I was like, no, like it was just, you know, making me to be mentally and emotionally disturbed for way too long. And then finally, you know, remedies have been, I got insights through the Nadi, so if you haven't had an astrology consultation, or if you have, then you can ask them again and say, what's going on with my Rahu Ketu? They'll give you remedies for that. Then you can ask them for a Nadi. If you haven't had a Nadi consultation, get a Nadi consultation, because that curse will come through. Once it's remedied, you will feel such relief, such that if you saw a snake, it wouldn't bother you. I see snakes all the time. I see snakes in everybody. And I just go, okay, well, that's the energy that's there. It doesn't disturb.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that at least I know what to pray for, because if I had a dream with a snake biting me or something, I would die. I don't even know if I'd ever come on here again. So at least I know what to, like Shrimbrzi light or karma light, like you say. I got to do that, because that would, but thank you so much. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. And it can be just the Kundalini. It's too much energy coming. So you just got to let it get integrated into you.
So what would that mean, too much energy? What would that mean? Like,
well, you were up till probably 4 in the morning with all that goddess Kundalini energy. So now, and then you went into this, you dove deeper into this practice, and you're coming out and you're emotionally disturbed a bit, you know? So it just means that you've got to just relax, get out in nature, take a bath, just eat lightly, you know, and just do things that are going to be light, joyful. Look at your kids, hug them, you know, Do things that ground you into your life, and then this too shall pass, Sunny.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Okay. So yeah, and anyone else who has these kinds of situations, then please reach out. Send me an email, sutrit@pillai.com. Yeah, and that's what Bhairavi is saying, is they represent wisdom. But because of our upbringing, our culture, and so on, we've had different information pumped into us, and it's kind of ingrained, and it takes a little bit to, unlearn that. Not that we disrespect it, it's a point of view. So you unlearn it, and then you allow the wisdom to come through. Okay, Wilma.
Yes, wonderful. I had a very interesting thing before. I was in the meditation, and then I was waiting for my turn. And it's interesting. I heard Ginny talk, and I was waiting for my turn after Ginny talked. And I had been told that I was ready to receive my last piece before everything was going to be totally revealed to me.
Wow.
And so Ginny was speaking. I was ready to speak, and it was gone. So what mantra or what can I do to now get that last piece, or will it just be revealed?
Well, we've been sharing about that, is that we keep putting on our bucket list, or our list of the to-do list for the divine. And then when the divine timing is right, you've already thought of that. You already see it done. You already are putting that in your consciousness. And then the divine will decide when exactly that moment is going to happen. And you just stay in with the divine, and it can happen now. It can happen in a day from now. It can happen anytime. So just trust that whatever, came in and out of your mind, it just was not ready to take root.
Okay, so that was it was waiting. All right, I can. It was there, but the key or the had not been totally unlocked yet.
Yeah, because there's something that is better. Trust that. Well, you do trust that. So it's going to happen in a more miraculous way. It's going to even be better, and it's going to be more. And you're like, yeah. So there we go.
It was just so unusual. And the last few weeks, I've been having Rama has been sending me a message. First there was an eel, and I never knew, and when I checked out the significance of an eel, and they said an eel gives birth to pearls. And I went online, and basically that's from Rama, which was very potent. And last week it was a falcon, and which is Rama again.
Beautiful.
And now I got this piece I'm waiting for the last piece.
It's going to be your piece of cake, and eat it too.
That will be nice.
Thanks so much for sharing, Wilma.
And and you really are a blessing to all of us. Every word that you say and you share with us is so profound. And I really want to thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. It's the divine will for all of us. We all have good karma. I always say to people, everybody who comes, we have good karma to be together and to elevate our consciousness, to be able to do something that's greater than what we can do, to push our limited boundaries of being human. So it is a blessing for all of us to come together, and I'm happy to be here, a part of this whole evolution.
Yeah, and you just made just the statement when you were speaking to the one before me, and you were mentioning you see snakes now in everybody, and it was like 2 weeks ago. I was talking to someone, and I saw a viper coming out of her eyes, and it shook me.
Yeah. So it can be, it can be a curse. It also can be the Kundalini moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like we're doing this dance with the divine now, where we're learning how we are going to evolve in this human form that we are now, with this human limited mind or limited thinking, and we're becoming more and more divine. And so the signs of the divine are through these symbols, through these experiences that we have on the dream plane, in our meditations, and then we start to see it in real life, and we go, whoa, you know, what was that? But then you trust that your practice has been on the dream plane or in your meditation such that you're prepared to see it in the world. Because if everyone's third eye was open, we'd be pretty freaky. Everybody would be freaking out.
There's a lot of things floating in the air that we saw would be a little frightening.
Yeah, this is the secrets of life. So you wanted to know the secrets? God bless everybody. Just take what you take in a little chunks, and then you will be on the right path, or be at the right speed for you. So the timing of the divine is for your highest and best. Remember that. It's not punished. And it's not because you have to suffer. It's because the highest and best is the easiest and the fastest and with the most results. So let the divine decide what time that's going to all roll out. Just keep contacting the divine. Stay in alignment. Stay in touch.
Yes, I absolutely will.
Okay, Wilma. God bless
Thank you.
Thank you.
Too. Bye.
Bye. Okay, everybody, I think we're, I'm just looking at my smartphone that's telling me, wow, you guys have had a really long conversation today. So I will just give a last chance for people to repost their question or their comment, because there's so many questions and comments to the chat, and that would take me way too long to scroll up and read. Not that I want to ignore you, or I am ignoring you, but if you have a question and I haven't responded to it, or you have another question that's come up out of this conversation, send an email to sucharita@pillaiCenter.com. Some people have said, I reached out to you, and I will respond to you. I have to open up time slots for us to have a conversation, if that's something that you want to do one-on-one. And then with the emails, I always trust that when people reach out, they're going to get their response in the right time. And sometimes when we are reaching out, just like we would with our mom or our teacher or at school or someone at work, sometimes we just, hey, we want the answer, but then we get the answer, but we don't understand it at that our own experiential level. So trust that if you're waiting for me to get back to you, then just explore the question more and see if you can answer it for yourself, or if you found the answer yourself, such that when we come together, you'll have something that's more pressing, or you have something more important for you to talk about. So we use our time and energy wisely. We're not just going to have a, hey, how you doing call. It's going to be transformational. So waiting is a waste of time, but being patient and being compassionate and diving deeper for your own answers to your own questions, then you'll be using your money and time wisely, and you will learn. So this is all about learning a new way of being on this path with Dr. Pillai. And he would say so many times to me, I'll tell you as you go along. And I'd be like, oh God, that could be forever. So I have to explore and find out, and I trust that when I do my meditation, it's going to take me to that next thing that I need to explore, and my question gets answered. So you might not even need a call with me. Tila.
Hi, Sucharita. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm good. I was just trying to sign in for the one-to-one session with you. The problem is that there's no time slot available. I'm kind of confused. I wrote to them, there's no reply.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll send you an email, and then I will give you a time slot that works.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tila. You're sounding so happy these days.
Yes, thanks to you, and thanks to Dr. Pillai.
No, it's great. Oh, you're welcome. It's just like when you came and you had all this angst and you're, didn't know which way to turn. And now here in a very short period of time, for those people who don't know your situation, here you are. And I feel the joy, even though you're just starting and you're getting going, there's that joy and that hope that your life is going to be turning out so much better than what it was.
Yeah, I have to agree because there's a lot of guidance that came by. It's true, like one led to another. As I told you, after speaking to you, I did the Muruga program, and right after that, I was connected to Lalita, then to you, then to Hanumandas, and all this were like happening, and things were changing in my life, and I could see the changes. And yes, I have to do my prayers every day and whatnot, and there are so many things that's changing in my life, and I could also see my negative point, that what I've contributed to have attracted all this. And that's very important because it's not about blaming others and blaming your situation on others. It's about what is within you. What have you done to actually invite this into your life? And I just want to go deep into it and resolve the issues that I have so that I'll be a better person. That's very important to me, to be a better person, to be able to contribute to others as well. Yeah, it's not about wanting everything. Is also about giving, which I think is the most important thing in life.
Oh, beautifully shared, Tila. I'm looking so forward to our call.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Sucharita.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. God bless.
Bye.
Okay. So yes, people are posting, and I just shared. I'll respond to your email. I have to open up time slots, and in the meantime, explore the answers to your questions, because you might have those will get out of the way easily, and then you might have deeper or more meaningful questions to come and ask about. And then it'll be a transformational call. That's what we want to do. We want to use our time, our money, our energy wisely. And when the divine comes in, woo, miracles. So with that said, thank you so much, everyone, for this fabulous journey that we're on here in Powertime Practice, and for everyone for holding the space of beautiful love and support for one another, so we can hear what's going on inside of us. This is a great practice in and of itself in terms of what can we endure in our life. So after this call, you can do anything. You can do something if you're doing stuff and you're listening to this call, or if you're sitting here listening or lying down listening, or if you've come and gone, or if you're listening to it afterwards, the recording, you just know that something inside of your soul is just saying, I can do anything because I've endured this. This is a marathon of conversation, and hopefully a lot of intelligence has come in and awaken something up inside of you to make your life more fulfilling and more rewarding hereafter. I think we have 1617 is on. Did you
Hi,
want to...
Sucharita.
Hi.
Hi, this is Norma.
Hi, Norma.
I sent you a Skype invitation to get prepared for our meeting next Wednesday.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you received it.
Yeah, I'll check on Skype. Don't worry.
Okay, all right. Looking forward to Wednesday.
Yes, looking forward to it too. God bless.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for everything.
You're very welcome. Okay, everyone. So thanks to all of you, and thanks to Yagna and also Radha, our fabulous support team who have been here for years when I only asked them to help out for a few months. And so God bless you both for capturing everything that's here and doing this great service to uplift everyone on this path. So God bless you all, and we'll see you next time. Namaste.